Well. You got to love technology, right? You got to love that good old technology. Well, hello, Mojo family. How are you doing tonight? Or depending on what part of the world you are watching from. So maybe it's morning, maybe it's afternoon, I don't know. But I just want to say thank you for joining me tonight. We are covering another episode of Behind the Mask. But today we're going to focus on parenting, specifically single parenting. We're pulling back the mask of on single parenting in the digital age and how AI and social media shapes the way that single parents show up. So um, let's get started. But before we do so, I want to see who is in the building. Sandra's in the building. If you are in the chat, I need you to drop a hey, and let me know where you're chatting from. Is it morning? Is it afternoon? Or are you sitting on your couch after a long day at work with your feet propped up and enjoying a soda pop or whatever you drink at this time of night? Drop it in the chat and say hello. Um, Before we get started, too, please subscribe to my channel, like and share, because the information that I share tonight, I'm sure can be useful, not just for single parents, but parents in general, because we all are dealing with this social media, this AI digital world. Let's see who's in the building. Who's in the building? Oh, you're laying in your bed. I know that is right because that is exactly where I would be if I was not doing this show. So we're going to jump in. I know y'all saw that I was having technical difficulties, so I had a video I wanted to play, but I don't think I'm going to try that tonight. I will put it in my description later on tomorrow or the next day after the video, after we finish the video. You can go watch it. It's very useful information. It talks about how AI and social media can help single parents. And it really is a useful tool, but we must beware. We must keep our hands on it and not allow it to get too far. So let's dig in. So, first of all, I just want to talk about um, my kids were fairly young during COVID 2020. So the good thing is, the world shut down for COVID, but things kept moving. Schools kept teaching. Um, we kept working, whether it was virtually, and some of us had to go in, like myself. But at the time, I was a single parent, and I was just thinking, how in the world was this going to work when I had my son who was in elementary school, my daughter who was in middle school, and then yes, and then my oldest daughter was also in middle school. I think I had a sixth and an eighth, no, sixth and eighth, something like that. Anyway, they were still in school. And the good thing is they did not have to stop their learning because we had technology to fill in the gaps. We had AI was, slowly but surely creeping in where they were able to get their assignments. Teachers were able to teach virtually and use a lot of apps to continue moving forward. So it wasn't easy, but aren't we glad that our kids didn't have to just stop learning during that time? So let's talk about the emotional and financial and social masks that single parents often wear. So we wear these masks of providers, protectors, nurturers, that we are strong. I know that people used to always say, "You're strong to be a single parent of three." Well, maybe I was strong, or maybe I knew how to utilize what I had. And definitely social media, definitely technology, and somewhat AI. as AI was developing then. I was fortunate enough to get a sneak peek at ChatGPT before it just became so popular because my employer opened that door for me to be able to start designing instructional curriculum with ChatGPT. And so when I started using it, a lot of people did not know exactly what ChatGPT was. And so I was fortunate enough to be a single parent who started to use that to started using ChatGPT before most of the world even knew what it was. But as single parents, we hide to struggle, and we hide our struggles to try to appear strong for our children. I remember my daughter saying, "Hey, when I tell my story of the struggle, she say that she didn't know because I definitely had to hide behind a mask of I had it all together. I always wanted my kids to feel like I had it together." Um, Let me ask you, if you are a single parent, or maybe you live your life as a single parent, or maybe you're just a parent, let me ask you, what mask do you wear the most and why? Let me put that on the screen. What mask do you wear the most and why? And if not, you can answer this question if you're a single parent or not. I'm just curious, what mask do you feel that you wear the most and why? So, uh-oh, I lost my note. So, let me see your answers in the chat. The strong mom mask. Yes. Let me see some more of those answers in the chat. So while we're waiting on those response, let's move on and talk about the highlighted real versus reality trap. So this is almost kind of the danger of social media as it relates to single parenting because if many of you are like me, like my daughter said, she never knew the struggle. I always felt like I had to keep it together and show people that I had it together, even when I didn't. As Sandra just said in a comment, that strong mom mask. So, what is the highlighted real? And I said real, REEL. What is that? Well, this is the version of life that people choose to display to others, especially online. It includes your major accomplishments, promotions, travel, relationship milestones, um, carefully selected photos, videos showing successes, showing beauty, showing happiness, positive updates. Hey, I just got a new job. I just got a new car. Positive updates, achievements, and celebrations. I love to celebrate my birthday. And so, I would always post about my birthday. In fact, if you're following me now, you'll see many posts about my birthday already because I like to celebrate all month long. So, and then you show a lot of these, especially in your public performance, the best parts of your life, often leaving out the struggles, the true boredom. Sometimes you're bored as a single parent. Sometimes you feel like failure. If you're like me, I can admit that, raising kids alone, sometimes you feel like you failed them because you didn't give them the opportunity to be raised in a two-parent home. But single parenting, a single parent does not have to be seen as a disadvantage. It's disadvantage. Like you have an advantage with your kids, and we're going to get into that a little bit more. So I said the real versus the reality trap. So the trap happens when you compare your full, messy, behind the scene reality to someone who is filtered and highlighted. Okay. This is very dangerous because it can lead to feelings of inaccuracy and failure, anxiety, envy, wishing you were like, what you see on social media, or dissatisfaction with what you have. So what you have may be more than enough, but you feel dissatisfied because it doesn't look quite the same as what you're seeing other people post. Distorted perception that everyone's life is better, it's easier, it's called a trap because the comparison isn't even fair. Okay? You're comparing your unedited, unfiltered life to someone who's edited every moment of their life. So, how seeing, okay, let me go into the chat. If you're a single parent, or even if you're not a single parent, how what mask do you wear most and why? Hi, CC. Great topic. I've already watched on replay. It's after 1 a.m. I understand. I understand. So I don't see any answers in the comments. I'm waiting for them. Put your answer in the comment. I'm just curious to what mask do you feel that you wear the most and why? So let's move on. So how does seeing perfect families online affect your mental? It can affect you, it can make you feel guilty. As I was saying, you start comparing yourself. And then in that comparison, you start to feel a burnout because you can never keep up with the false narrative of other people's life. Now, that's not to say that everything that people post is false, because quite frankly, they are living that moment, but that's just a moment in their life. Is it consistent? Is it what they're living every day? Is it um, is it the truth, or is it a straight up lie? That is the question you have to ask yourself. Um, so, how do kids of single parents also compare their lives to their peers online? This is something that you really need to capture your kids' attention and make them understand that it's not everything that they see online that they need to take at face value. Yes, you may see your kids may see their friends going to Disney World, going on trips, going on cruises, and that is wonderful. And your kids may have that desire, but they need to understand that this is not um, every moment of their lives. This is a snapshot in time, and to be careful with comparing themselves to that snapshot. Let's see. I was a single parent once. Sandra says, I was a single parent once and had to carry many faces, but I made it through. Absolutely. Absolutely. Same here. I was a single parent. Um, and sometimes in a marriage, you can even feel like a single parent when you're seeing um, couples online doing things with their kids and they seem happy, and they're doing all these things in life on that snapshot, and maybe you feel like you aren't there. So these are just things we need to be aware of. Make sure that we are not um, comparing our lives to someone's snapshot. So let's see. I talked about the trap that we want to make sure that we don't fall into. Um, Here's some tips. Take control of your feed. And when I'm talking about your feed, your social media feed. Curate accounts that inspire instead of drain you. So, what you need to do if you are going to use social media, especially like as a single parent, you want to make sure that you're connecting yourself to people and to accounts that will feed your desire to be more and not just show you this pretty picture. And when I say that, I use a lot of social media for self help. but I also use it for my business. Um, there are some great tools that I have learned. I don't think that I would have done a podcast not even 5 years ago, probably. But there are so many tools that you can use. I wrote a few of them down. So you can use AI to save time and automate a lot of tasks. You know, I can't live without my calendar. If my phone wasn't going off and reminding me of all the duties that I have, all the day's events, when I start in the morning, Alexa tells me all of my calendar events for the day, and it is fabulous because I start off my day knowing what is ahead of me, and that is such a friend, single parent friendly tool because you can start your day off knowing what's ahead of you if you have uh, kids' appointments at school, doctor's appointments, homework assignments due, deadline for homework. So, like, if I know there's a deadline for my kids' work, I say, hey, I don't want to say the name because she may hear me. That's Alexa. She may hear me and respond, but um, it's a very useful, that's how you can use AI to be a very useful tool. You can also use AI to help with some work that us parents may not be able to help with, especially math questions and science questions that maybe you aren't familiar, or maybe it has just been way too long. I always say my excuse is they teach different today. It's not the same teaching that we used to have. Let's see. Hello, hello, Ricardo. Hi, welcome to my show. Welcome to my show. We're glad to have you here. So I don't see the mask. I only saw the strong mom mask, but that's okay. We're going to keep going. So, social media and AI, like I was saying, could definitely be very useful tools. Um, keep losing my place. There are so many benefits for the children as well. You have your tutoring apps, you have your budget planners. That's good for the parents and the kids. How about co-parenting schedules? I always get confused. What year is this? Is this the even year, the odd year for Christmas with mom, or is it the year for Christmas with dad? Um, uh, AI is a good way to keep that on your schedule. You know, there is one subject that I looked up in my research to put this together, and it said that you can use AI for emotional support through chatbots. Now, I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. So, if you have any experience with using chatbots as for emotional support, please drop it in the comments because I am so curious to how do you use chatbots for emotional support. So I'm not gonna lie, I gave it a try. I should have turned off my Alexa, but I asked. I tested this theory and how my I, can't keep saying Alexa because she's going to eventually answer me, but how she or he could be an emotional support. And I will say it's an interesting experience. I don't want to say it too much because she may start answering me, but I want to know who has used her for a chat bot for emotional support. I'm just kind of curious. Drop it in the comments if you've done that. I want to see what your experience was with the chat bot. So I just wanted to. Okay, I'm gonna do a poll. There's not many people in the audience, but I want to do a poll. What do you think AI is doing in general? Is it helping you as a parent, or do you feel like it's adding stress? Drop it in the comments. AI helping you as a parent, or do you think that it is adding to your stress? You have not, okay. And Patricia, you have not either. You know, I started, but I use YouTube for support. Yes, exactly. I have two. Uh, it was just interesting how the whole back and forth with. Um, I'm gonna call my. I'm gonna give another name for my AI person in the room. We're gonna call her Lexi. All right, we're gonna call her Lexi because hi, welcome in. Hello, Yinkas. The real fam is stepping in the house. We are talking about single parenting and really parenting. What I'm talking about tonight could just really relate to whether you're a single parent or a parent, because we all need to be um, understand how AI and social media can both help, and in a lot of ways it can hurt. Patricia says, I am neutral on this subject because I haven't used it like that. Right. If you maybe if your kids are older, maybe you don't have as much experience with this, but trust me, being a mother right in the middle of COVID really opened our, I think not even just opened my eyes, but opened the world's eyes to know the need for artificial intelligence, and of course, social media blew up during that time, and hence what you see today. I mean, I can't even keep up with all the social media channels that are available. I have to lean to my children, which is kind of scary that they are on top of all of this constant change. But that's what they say. The only thing that's constant in life is change. So we have to definitely work hard to keep up with the change. But I just want to talk about. So I've talked about many ways that social media can help single parenting. Like I said, as if you are looking into entrepreneurship, it can help you with scheduling. It can help you with even creating podcasts. I get many ideas from ChatGPT on my topics for my podcast. I generally know what I want to talk about, but sometimes I don't know how to approach it. This is a way to save time, save energy. Don't reinvent the wheel. You have a tool that's available. Make use of it. It can save you time, effort, and energy, and it can help you grow your side hustle. And that's what I am doing. Let's see. I am neutral. Okay. Oh, hi. Hello, Neka. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. We are talking about single parents, the mask we wear for our children, and is AI and social media um, helping us, or is it hurting us? And so, stop lying. Lying about what? Who is that? Who is Nicolas Cage? I need some explanation. Drop that in the chat. I was raised, let's see. Ricardo says, I was raised by a single parent, so I know the struggle and appreciate it now that I am a parent. Yes. And so, Ricardo, do you see a difference from when you were raised by a single parent to how it is today raising your children? Have you seen that social media has and AI has helped, or has it hindered? Um, they I can't say the name, but not a single parent, but I use AI to brainstorm kids' activities, meal plans, study plans, daily routines, and such for kids. Yes. That's when you can say that AI and social media technology is useful in raising kids, and definitely find different ways of how it can help, because that's what it's here for. We don't have to be scared of everything. Yes, AI can be scary, but we don't have to fear everything. We have to embrace it, and kind of like what I think it was Yinkas we were talking about the other day. You have to chew the meat and spit out the bones. What's not for you, it's not for you. As I said, I had a video because there are some dangers with social media. And this is not just for single parents, but it's for parents in general. I wish I will definitely put it in the description so that you can watch it because it is very powerful. It's a powerful video of a parent who's taking pictures of their children and posting it on social media. And this was something I was going to approach about being very careful when you are exposing your children. Yes, we want to show our kids and how much we love them and all that they're doing, all these wonderful things, their milestones and things like that, but we have to be careful. This particular video showed how AI was used to enhance this child's image to an older version of that child. It even showed how they changed the voice to how the voice would sound as the child matured. And so then it said it was warning you about making sure to keep your kids private because, or not so public. I won't say private, but not so public in social media because people can use those images to one, steal their identity. Your children's identities can be stolen from a baby picture. It's just something that you need to think about. Like I said, the video had the child digital, digitally enhanced as an adult, and even showed how one person was arrested from a digital image of a younger child post. Interesting, right? I will post it in the description once the video downloads. So we want to know how to avoid the traps of the AI and social media age. So as I said, one big one is be careful when you're posting your children's images. I'm hold on. I have a chat. I'm driving, but I can't share my thoughts. Hopefully I can do okay when I get home. Unfortunately, Sandra says these days parents do rely on technology more before and not because they want, but because life is pushing toward that path. Sandra, I definitely agree with you. And let me tell you why. A lot of times, as a single parent, when I was a single parent, tablets were just coming out. And I would give my children tablets to keep them busy while I accomplished what I needed to accomplish. Now, that's not bad, but we have to be careful because we're once again exposing our children to so many things if we are not putting some type of restrictions. Yes, tablets are a good tool for the kids, but we must restrict what they have access to and what has access to them. And let me tell you, this speaks to me just in so many ways because as a parent who has had a very scary experience with social media giving access to my child, it you just really need to stay on top of that. And it does not matter how old, if they think they're teenagers and that they can take care of themselves. No, they have not a clue with their limited experience. I'm going to, as I get ready to talk about how to avoid some of these traps, I am going to drop the link in the chat for any of you who may want to come on and share some experiences, share some something that you would like to share about social media and AI, whether it's something that can add to the protection of your children, or I tell you, technology today is really doing something, or anything that you would like to share as we relates to this subject. Ricardo said yes and no because there's a lot of bad actors out there putting a lot of harmful stuff. Yes, exactly. And that's what I was saying. You need to be aware of what you give your children access to and access to, who you give your kids access to. You have to, Ricardo said you have to watch and monitor what your kids is watching. Who is that? Natu. Hey, welcome, Sister Natu. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have dropped a link for any of you out there in the chat who want to share more on this subject. This subject can go on forever. Um, it just, there's so many parts to it. And I'm just out here to just remind single parents that continue to live authentically. Make sure you put boundaries on which you give access to your kids. So remember how to avoid these traps. Remember the context. Social media shows snippets, not a full story. Limit comparison. Focus on your personal progress, not others, not other public images. This is when that access can be a little bit scary. Be intentional online. Follow accounts that inspire you and not discourage you. This is very important. Like I said, create a social media that is safe for you in all aspects, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Practice gratitude of which you have, so that when you're looking at social media, you say, "Oh, I'm happy for them," but also you are happy for you. You're happy to be exactly where you are. Share authentically. When you post, balance your highlights with moments of realness and moments of, your high highs. And I'm not saying that you need to show your low lows, but show people that life is not always perfect in your home, and connect with other people who show the same. We have a comment. Okay, just saying hey to the real fam in the comments. So if you want to, I don't see any responses. I want to know, help. Do you feel like AI is helping your parenting or adding to your stress? Drop it in a comment. I want to see how many say that it's helping, how many say that it's adding to your stress. Drop it in the comments. But here is some strategies for authenticity. So, model real emotions for your kids. You don't always have to show them that you're sad, but you want to show them that you're human, that you do have sad periods of time. Limit your performance parenting, like, oh, I am, come hither, we are, whatever, don't perform for your kids. Be real, be authentic, so that they understand who you and who they really are. Um, Use AI and social media with your kids. Don't just leave it to babysit your children. Okay. Share resources, support. Social media has so many aspects that you really can find support in social media groups. I know that I'm part of a group. Actually, this group will be featured on my show. It's called the Women in Wine, and it was a group that was created during COVID. And that was when the world was closed down, and we were able to deliver baskets of love to different people's, different women. We were only doing it for women at the time, homes, and putting a little note in their basket to put a smile on their face. And the only way we were able to do that is because we all connected through social media. The founder of that social media group was actually in Phoenix, Arizona. So if we didn't have that access to social media, I wouldn't have been able to be a part of that group. So key takeaways: don't let AI and social media define your parenting story. Take off the mask and show up as the real you. That is what is the big takeaway. Okay, I have one response that says, I believe both AI and social media have their advantages and disadvantages. Yes, absolutely. Okay, Sandra says she has not used AI yet. Sandra, you have used AI. If you have done an internet search, you have used AI. If you have Google, if you have Alexa, if you have, well, I mean, just about everything around you is AI. So you have used AI. Um, I don't see any more responses. So, okay. So I don't see any more responses for the question, is AI helping your parenting or adding to your stress? Um, my answer would be it's helping my parenting and adding to my stress. And when I say it's helping, like I said, I'm building a channel, a YouTube channel around using AI and around using social media. But at the same time, as I expressed, I had not such a good experience with my one of my children who was exposed and kind of exposed themselves, but it was through gaming. So if your kids are playing games that you think are kid age appropriate, you still have to be careful because this is how my children, one of my children was exposed, was through a kid friendly game. Because everyone on those kid friendly games are not kids, and you need to be aware. So I just want to say, let me see if there's any more chats. She said I did then. Yes, everything is powered by AI, and it has been for a long time. We just didn't become aware of it until recently in the last 5, 10 years or so. Um, so yes, I know 100% that you have. If you've even scheduled a calendar event, that's you're using AI. So anyway, um, so here's the question I have for you. Which of your digital masks are you willing to take off? That is the question. That is what I want you to think about. If you feel like you are heavily connected and you are not able to live authentically, your authentic self, because you're always showing up on social media as with this perfect um, picture of yourself, which digital mask are you willing to take off? So, as you know, most of you already know that me personally, I have chosen to do my show authentically. Um, I'm not one who comes with, as Uncle Ben in the Real Film says, I don't have a, what's the mask he call it? The cake mask or whatever on my face. I'm not dressed to the nines. I am just here authentically at my everyday self. And that's what I'm going to be on the Real MoJo Show. I'm always going to keep it real and keep it authentic, um, and speak my truth, my real truth, not my made up truth. So whether it's favorable or not, but I just want to leave with which digital mask are you ready to take off as a parent? And that is for parents who are single or not single, because we all are heavily connected to social media in so many ways. Let's see what the chat says. Pancake, yes, I don't have pancake. I don't come on here with pancake on my face. I come here with maybe some lipstick and a little bit of eyeliner and eyebrows. That is it. I don't want to be pancake face. Uncle Ben must have not had time to get in here. I would have been messing with him in here. So um, so that's what I have for you on Behind the Mask, how single parents show up. Um, just be authentic, be aware, be self-aware what you post and what you expose yourself to. Be aware of what you expose your children to in today's world. And that is what I have for you, single parents and parents. So if you want to drop any questions in the chat, if you have anything to share, come right on. I'll share the link again. If not, if we don't have anyone sharing tonight, we are next week. We are introducing podcast on Fridays. And Fridays is going to be for Wine Down Friday. I am also a wine consultant that I will be sharing um, some of my best wines. Like I said, I will have Women in Wine here to share how you can become a part of that group. It costs you nothing. It is a community of women who just want to put a smile on your face. They will deliver a basket anywhere in the United States of America. I'm sorry, my overseas family. Women in Wine only serve the United States, but maybe we can connect and get someone overseas to start a branch of our Women in Wine group and start delivering and having some type of connection overseas. Who knows? We never know where it can go. But I don't see anything in the chat. So for now, I just want to say keep it real, keep your mojo. Until we see each other again, bye.